Vincent Van Gogh, people told him, you can't be a great painter, you only have one ear. You know what he said? I can't hear you.
Listening to Sippin' Sports, a Phillies sports talk morning show with KJ and Dalt. Proudly powered by 302 Birds. Let's take it to the show.
Good morning, everybody. Happy Saturday, and welcome to another episode of the Sippin' Sports podcast. We got a special guest, a returning guest on the show. You guys know that familiar face down there, Chaos Chris, stopping in because we were talking about it a little bit before the show. This is not going to be a pretty show. This is not going to be a enthusiastic show. This is not going to be probably an upbeat episode. So if that's what you're looking for, hit the door, Jack. This is going to be a critical. This is going to be a realistic. This is going to be a honest explanation about how we all feel about these Philly sports teams right now. Phillies let us down. Sixers let us down. Eagles let us down. Flyers let us down. They all let us down this week in different ways. But let's go ahead and start it off with the Phillies. And I think we'll start with Ryan, then we'll go to Chris and you after, KJ. But, God, man, they just really dropped the ball on this, didn't they?
Oh, I'm heartbroken. It's disgusting. I'm just tired of this. You know what? Every single year, this team loses in the postseason, not because of a starting rotation, not because of a bullpen, but because of a lineup that can't hit when the pressure's on. That includes Kyle Schwarber. That includes JT Realmuto. Two of them cats were re-signed. They were looking to bring in Bo Bichette because he's a 311 hitter, can hit 30 homers, bunch of RBIs, and is electric in the postseason. I mean, it was like that was the Phillies were the only. It was too good to be true. And apparently they were in a contract agreement last night, 2 nights ago, and then all of a sudden he's going to the Mets. And it's just a nightmare. This is a nightmare. And Dave Dombrowski, see, here's the problem. If you missed out on Bichette, it's what, like, I'd still be pissed off. It's whatever. But I'm actually extra pissed off that you thought it was a good idea to miss out on Bichette and then re-sign JT Realmuto 20 minutes after and agree to his conditions. He wanted 3 years in this massive contract, and the Phillies were like, yeah, we're not going to give you that. We'll give you 2 years and a little bit of money. And they were in a battle. They were like, we're not going to do this. We're going to pivot. Then all of a sudden, Dave Dombrowski panic managed. He panicked to sign JT. It's a nightmare. This is a nightmare. And I'm going to tell you this in all honesty. You people need to realize this. The Phillies can miss the playoffs this year. The Phillies have a real opportunity to miss the postseason this year. I mean, we're going to have Alec Bohm batting fourth again. Disaster. Brandon Morris batting fifth. Trash. Can't hit lefties. JT Realmuto couldn't hit water if he fell out of a boat. Bryson Stott can't hit water. I mean, it is like a nightmare. This team is a nightmare. I keep recycling everything that I don't know how else to say it. This team can't win. They won't win. And that's the issue. And here's the biggest thing before I wrap this up. The Phillies want to claim that they're in the group with the big dogs. They want to claim they're with the Dodgers. They want to claim they're with the Mets. But you can't be with the Mets if you're afraid to spend money. But you also can't spend money when you give out massive, idiotic contracts to Nick Castellanos, who kills you. Taijuan Walker, who killed you. Aaron friggin' Nola, which, by the way, 7 years, $130 million, whatever his contract is. I mean, come on, dude. He's not Aaron Nola anymore. The Phillies are the kings of horrible contracts. Kings of horrible contracts. And Bo Bichette was a good contract. I would have been happy with Bo Bichette. They're kings of big contracts. And when you have big contracts and then you just re-sign JT, 3 years, $45 million with a chance to get $60 million. Chris, let me ask you this. In 3 years, what the hell do you think JT Realmuto is going to look like? What do you think he's going to look like, Chris?
He going to be in a fucking nursing home.
Yeah, he's probably not even going to be here. He can't stay healthy. He can't hit. I mean, the management is so idiotic. It's a sin. It is embarrassing. We're the laughing stock of the league. And I'll tell you this, every year the Dodgers get better because they have infinite amount of money. The Mets get better because they are not afraid to spend money. And the Phillies stay where they are. 90-win ball club, first-round exits, and they might not even make it this year. People need to realize that.
Yeah, I agree with basically everything he said. I'm pissed off, betrayed, like just everything about Dave Dombrowski. I knew when it started dragging on with Bo Bichette that they weren't going to get him. And they had the meeting Monday. He should have been signed Monday or Tuesday, and that should have been it. They waited too long. They let Kyle Tucker sign. The Dodgers gave him way too much fucking money. I mean, Kyle Tucker is not that good of a player for $60 million a year at all. But they let him wait. They let him come back in. Bo Bichette signs with the Mets next morning. It's sickening. And Bo Bichette, you're a bum. I hate you now. You're going to flip on your word like that? Absolutely asinine. I can't blame him for taking the money because, I mean, he's going to make a lot more money than what the Phillies offered him over those 7 years after that contract. I'm just – the way the Phillies pivoted after that is what really pisses me off. You go and then just completely cave to a bottom-of-the-league catcher. At this point, JT Realmuto is a bottom-of-the-league catcher. He ranked 24th last year. He's not going to get any better. He's old as hell. You sign him. You still have Bohm on the roster. You still have Castellanos on the roster. You still have Taijuan Walker on the roster. You still have Aaron Nola as a starting pitcher on this roster. This team is getting worse. It's not getting better. And, you want to talk this big game. Oh, the team's going to look different this year. How much different does it look? You replaced Max Kepler with Adolis Garcia. They're not that much different. You replaced Matt Strahm with Brad Keller. Not much different. You haven't done that much at all. Ranger Suarez is gone now. Your pitching rotation's worse. In every metric, this team has gotten worse. And this asshole is just going to sit on his fucking ass and not do anything. Castellanos is just going to fucking abuse him the whole year. He's gonna pull his shit all year because they're not going to trade him because they're too scared to trade him because this guy is a cuck and I'm tired of it. Get fucking Dombrowski out of here. He should have been fired the minute Bo flipped from the Phillies to the Mets. If I was Middleton, I would have said, yeah, you're done. That's it. Get the fuck out. But no, he let him sit there and go trade and go sign JT.
Yeah, this is disgraceful. This is really pissing me off. I'll tell you this. They had Bo Bichette. Like, they literally had him, and all the reports were saying that we were going to get him, and all of a sudden the Mets swooped in and got him. And they offered him less money, but I don't blame him for not coming to us because, honestly, he probably saw that they decided to, you know what? Oh, they signed JT, and 20 minutes later, oh, yeah, that place is a joke. It's really annoying that they just keep on signing these players that are literally seasoned. They're literally older. They're in their mid-30s, and they're going to be in their mid-30s or they'll be at like the end of their 30s when their contracts are done with the Phils. It's really infuriating. I don't know how some people are actually like, I saw a bunch of comment sections, and I'm going to tell you this. I saw a lot that were saying, yay, we signed JT back. We signed JT back. Why are you happy that we signed JT back? Like, it makes no sense. The guy could have hit for shit last year, and he does not show up in the postseason. And it really is just mind-boggling that they think that they can just run this back again. I mean, this has been the second year in a row where I was like, you know what, they can't run this back. And then they do it again. They're doing this again. It makes no sense. I mean, there's multiple holes in this lineup, and you just want to keep it going. Like, you have to look at these other teams, the Dodgers, even the Mets are making moves because they realize that they have holes in their team. And we just can't do it for some reason. It's so freaking infuriating because I even thought, like, even in 2023, that was our best opportunity to go to the World Series. And I think we would have beat the crap out of the Texas Rangers. I say this all the time. But right there was where we really screwed up. And then obviously, I mean, the pitching screwed us up and everything like that. I knew that this was the domino. And I didn't realize when we signed Aaron Nola, with the Trey Turner thing too, as much as people were excited for Trey Turner, he's not panning out. We have to honestly look at this. Like, yes, he led the league in hits. He was, but the thing is too, is like, dude, like, we're having all these big contracts and these guys are going to be freaking senior citizens when they're done with us, dude. It's just so infuriating because, like, we give them these contracts and they're not even producing. I mean, they're not producing to the level we need them to produce, especially in the postseason. And it really is just like, why does Dombrowski think this is okay? I don't get it, but I agree. Why the hell is Brandon Marsh still here? Why the hell is Alec Boehm still here? It's a recycle. It's a refresh. It's not a refresh. They think it's a refresh because you make one little move and get Adolis Garcia. And it's just like, no, like, with the 20-minute thing, that really screwed me. That really pissed me off too, because I really think we could have got a younger catcher. I think we definitely could have got Adley Rutschman. I feel like we definitely could have got him. Or we could have got the guy from the Twins. I'm trying to think his name.
Ryan Jeffers?
Yeah, Jeffers. We could have got him.
Great.
So it's just like the guy just thinks out of his ass. It's really disappointing. And it sucks for the people. Like, we have someone in the comments, Fratty, who is dedicated to the Phillies and he wants to believe in them. And it really sucks because they are just literally like smacking these dedicated fans like Fratty, like Chris as well. Like me, like Broad, maybe Dalton. I don't know, but Ballpark as well. My buddy, our friend Rome, my buddy Siegel. Like, there's so many people that I can name, and they don't even realize, but they're getting smacked in the face by Dombrowski right now, and he's laughing. He's just laughing in our faces. It sucks. I'm just super pissed, and it's criminal what's going on with the Phillies. And you know what's funny too? You're gonna hear all the songs and everything like that, the batting songs and all that. It's gonna be A-OK. I know I'll be A-OK. It's not A-OK. It's freaking infuriating. It's stupid okay. Like, whatever the freak you want to say. I can't even speak, like, at this point.
I get your frustration, and I get everybody else's. I like my perspective on it, being the amateur Phillies fan, as we like to say. Are we shocked? Right? Like, are we really shocked at this point? I know we're not, but after last November, I just have lost all faith in this team. Not even November. I don't even know why I'm saying November and giving them that respect. October, they got knocked out early. Like, I don't even want to give the Phillies that belief, that care, that they don't deserve that, like, passion. They really don't. Because of moves like this. I get the Bo Bichette thing a little bit because you had a handshake. I think that that's more of a bad look on Bichette and his agent rather than being a bad look on the Phillies. And hear me out. I know we wanted him. I know we could have been more aggressive. I 1000% could see that and agree with that. But at the same time, it's like sometimes there's just some things in the world you can't do anything about. Like, that's out of your control, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. The sign JT Realmuto to a longer deal, the running it back with the same team pretty much, the not being, those are things you can change. That's where I'm frustrated with this team. And like, we all know they're not going to go anywhere. There's no spark plug. There's nobody else that they're going to bring in that can fire these guys up. It's actually really funny because the last thing I'll say is when they were talking about Bo Bichette, I remember there was that guy that had a video that was like, we don't need any more Bryces, Braysons, and Kyles. We need like somebody else. Like, we don't need any more white boys, right? This roster's full of white boys. We need somebody else. We need a spark plug. We also need somebody that didn't grow up with something coming easy. Like you look at VJ Edgecombe, right? Living off of a generator. I'm not saying that, hey, go draft people that have a struggle. I'm just saying some of these people that do have a struggle coming up have a very insane work ethic that if you come from a family with money, sometimes you're not going to have that same work ethic. I hate to say it, but it's true. So I think that the Phillies need to strongly consider who's going to be their guy that can come in and wake this team up when nobody else can, because they don't have that right now.
I'm going to tell you this. Here's something that may have flew over your guys' heads and over the radar here. So when the season ended, Dave Dombrowski and Rob Thompson claimed that the team was good enough and that they just ran into good pitching and a good team. I mean, obviously, you're in the postseason. That's who you're going to find. But then they go and try and bring in Bo Bichette, best player in free agency, which tells me that they deep down do not believe that this team is good enough. Now they miss out on him, and all of a sudden it goes back to, well, this team's good. This team is good enough without Bichette. So the season ends, and we just ran into a good team, and we're still a good team, and we don't need anybody else. Then they're bringing in Bichette, which tells me that they don't actually believe that we're a good enough team, because we're trying to go and get the best player in free agency. And then we miss out on them, and then they go back to, well, we're going to re-sign JT because this team's actually good enough, and they can win. See how, like, the hypocrisy, the lies, like, it just that doesn't work well. And here's what I want to see out of the fan base. I think Chris brought this up earlier. I can't stand Bo Bichette now. You were pretty much locked into a contract. You bail out. They need to boo the hell out of this guy.
Oh, we're booing
for any time he's on the field, boo him. He's a loser. He's a scumbag. But on top of that, I am so damn sick and tired of this stadium, of Citizens Bank Park being sold out. I think it was cool for like the little run, the 3-4 years. It was cool. Now it is time to just empty the stadium. Show this friggin' organization, show this front office that we are not effing around anymore. We want changes. We want a winning culture. We want real ball players. We are not a nursing home. Same thing with the Sixers. Nursing home. Look, I am so damn sick and tired of 45,000 people and people that don't even know the Phillies, right? Like, they're not like us. They don't understand the Phillies. They don't care about the Phillies like us. They just want to go get their little beer bat and their little ice cream helmet. No, that ain't me. I am there to see a ball club that can produce and win. This team right now can't beat the Dodgers. And I got to tell you, I don't even know if they can beat the Mets. I don't know if they can beat the Mets. I mean, it's embarrassing. And we don't know what the Braves are going to be. Maybe the Braves are probably going to be better next year. The Phillies have a real opportunity to finish third or fourth in the National League East this year. But it is time to boo Bo Bichette, and it is time to empty that goddamn stadium. It is time, instead of 45,000, maybe 20,000. It is time for people to stop spending their hard-earned money on a team that doesn't produce, that doesn't spend, and that lies to us.
Well, I mean, they're going to, though. That's the problem. They're going to spend it.
Yeah,
people are still going to go. They're still going to go. And it's funny, too. I'll mention this, too. I don't know if you guys realize. It's funny that Dombrowski was saying that Harper is the one that's not elite. But then it's like, then what is JT? What the hell is JT? The guy's seasoned as well. So is he not elite? Oh, if he's not elite, you know what that means? I'm going to sign him 20 minutes after I don't sign Bo Bichette. It's just, it's infuriating. The guy literally is probably just cackling like a freaking evil villain behind his desk and just like doing this with his hands and just like, and I mean, I think, and I was dead serious about this. I think when the postseason happens, if we make it, I think a bunch of us go out there and protest with signs and whatever, and we just put all these Dead October stuff. And I think, you know what, we go with that because I think they are going to honestly shoot us all fans in the foot. And it's funny because the other fans are going to be just delusional and not realize that they are getting scammed by this organization, because they are.
I'll say this too. Once we get to October, you know damn well we're all going to be buying into that. Like, come on.
No,
let's
I don't want
here
to
and act
anymore,
like
though.
we're not.
I can't,
once we get to October, once we get
dude.
through the full baseball season, yes, I hear what you're saying. You're right. Like, in the back of our head, Dead October all day. You don't forget the pain. You can't. But we're Philly sports fans. Like, once October comes around, KJ McCoy is going to be with his red hat, his red jersey, decked out, ready for Red October. He might even have that trumpet that he had a couple years ago. Because if they do get out
broken. It was broken. It's broken.
Well, we'll have to repair it. Because, look, I'm not going to sit here and act like they're going to do anything in the playoffs this year. But the second that they get a playoff series win, I actually think it's going to be a good thing for the Phillies, because they're going to know that they can't, let up on the gas. Keep going. Everybody's behind you now. You got one done. The pressure's off. I guess what I'm trying to say is that once you get a playoff series win, I feel like the pressure's kind of off, and I feel like that's when this team is going to really come alive. The 2022 season, I feel like nobody really expected them to go as deep as they did, and that was to their benefit. Sometimes you're at your best when people don't see it coming. But I want to move on now just to a little bit of the Eagles, because I know we've been talking about the Phillies for about 20 minutes. We'll kick this one to Chris first, and then we'll go to KJ and Ryan after. But the 49ers, man, they advanced. This was a horrible first-round exit for the Eagles. What are your thoughts on this and the team's outlook for the offseason moving forward?
I mean, I thought it was expected. I knew the offense wasn't going to show up. The defense gave up one too many touchdowns, and that was it. It's not the defense's fault they lost at all, but, they gave up 23 points. The Eagles were never going to score more than 20 in this game. Their offense was terrible. It was terrible the whole year. Decision-making by the quarterback wasn't great at times. Play calling was obviously the worst ever. They couldn't block. They dropped footballs. Just every single thing on offense just didn't work. Nothing worked. They just, it's what they were all year. And they just ran into a team who was good enough. They beat us on a trick play. They had a wide receiver throw a touchdown, which I don't think we had a single trick play all year. I don't think the Eagles ran a single trick play all year. So it is what it is. I'm glad Patullo's gone. But like the Phillies, there's some changes the Eagles need to make too. They're not just going to go hire an offensive coordinator and be like, okay, we're back. They got to make some changes on the offensive line. We'll see how that A.J. Brown situation unfolds. There's some issues there, obviously. And then you got a lot of free agents too that, who you're going to bring back, who you're not going to bring back. So it's going to be a long offseason. But bad taste in my mouth, but not as bad because they won the Super Bowl last year. If you look at the Phillies actually won a World Series in 22, we wouldn't be as pissed off as we are right now because we got so close but didn't get there. The Eagles got there, and they've gotten there a couple times, and they've done it. Yeah. So at this point, the Eagles get slight pass for me, even though it was a shitty season.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's a really good take.
Most definitely. I feel like I'm not so upset because the Eagles have done it last year. And I know that people don't want to hear that. And I kind of talked about it after the game. I did a little like after the game message and everything like that. But yeah, it was infuriating. It definitely was because of there were so many opportunities they could have looked productive out there, and they didn't. I mean, because they just can't, because you got Patullo who has no idea what he's doing. And that's why he's not in the position he's at now. It really is. I mean, Chris is kind of right. You kind of saw it coming. And I mean, with the Niners, they weren't even dude, they had two linebackers that were literally, one of them we used to know not pretty well, but Kaiser White played with us. We knew the guy's brother, Eric Kedrick's brother, Michael Kedrick's. So these guys didn't even play a single snap this season. They brought them in off the streets, and they actually produced for them because our offense just couldn't do crap. And with AJ, it's going to be really interesting to see what happens. I know that Chris showed me something that apparently, and I don't know if it's exactly true, that apparently AJ asked for a trade early in the season. And I mean, that definitely, you can believe it, you can not. I mean, but seriously, there's going to be some decisions with AJ. And I know that Howie was saying, no, we don't want to trade him. But I think if the guy does want to get traded, why do you want to keep this going? Why do you want to like keep like the whole like how they're doing with Castellanos with the Phillies? It's like you should probably trade him, but you don't want to or something like that. For some reason, you don't want to. But like I don't know. It's like it's really annoying that this team did lose the way that it did. I did kind of see it coming as well. Either I saw they were going to have a really good game, or I saw that they were going to just fall and crumble. And the way that they were playing in the second half, I was just like, yeah, they're not going to do this. There's just there's nothing left in the tank, and it's just, I mean, the balance that they didn't have with running and passing, it was just like, I mean, you got to have a balance with it, and they just didn't have it. So, I mean, some people that are freaking out, being like, and they're like so pissed the Eagles. I don't really see how you could be like that, because like we did win a Super Bowl last year, and I know that you don't want to hear that, but like the bottom line is there's some teams that don't even have a Super Bowl. They don't even have like a freaking, what the hell is that? Sirianni is a cheerleader. You're muted, Dalton.
He was asking what Sirianni does. Sorry, you're good. Keep going.
But yeah, so I mean, actually I kind of forgot my thought now. I got distracted by that Sirianni photo. What was I saying? You there?
Yeah, I'm breaking up a little bit. I'm trying to think too. I was reading that comment, so I was distracted by that.
Damn it.
He asked what Sirianni does, so you have to show him this.
I mean, yeah, you know what? With Sirianni, it's like the guy's made the playoffs all 5 years. So, I mean, even if he is a cheerleader, I mean, like he knows what he's doing, but he can't be hiring his friends. He can't be doing that.
That's a really good way to put it, too. I'll just say this really quick, and then we'll go to Ryan. You hit the nail on the head. Like, he has made the playoffs all 5 years. He's a good coach. The players respect him. So, you know, all jokes aside, Chris, this is a good question. I think what Nick does is Nick is like I use the cheerleader picture jokingly, but he's like the CEO of the football team. He oversees the whole operation, and shout out to Chase Sports. He's really the one that gave that analogy talking about Harbaugh a couple weeks ago. And I thought that was such a good analogy for a head coach with the football team, because it's like you are kind of like the CEO. You're kind of like, you may not be doing the tasks day to day. You can do a task if you need to, but you're more like overseeing the whole operation, jumping in where people need you, just kind of being like a jackknife. I feel like there's not a better coach that's a better jackknife in the NFL than Nick Sirianni. Does his antics and the stupid shit that he does piss us off sometimes? 1,000%. But at the end of the day, like KJ said, results speak for themselves. And I just want to say, too, with what KJ said, we said it, I think, in the beginning of the season, and a lot of Eagles fans were arguing about this because they don't know how to feel about it. I was on the side of, I'm not going to say it until the season's over, right? Like, I can't say, oh, it's okay. We won the Super Bowl last year. Throw in, the white towel. That's it. It's over. We're good. Like, no, I can't do that. That is not in my DNA when we're still in the race. Now that we are out of the race, I can look at this from a bird's eye view and say, okay, you know what? We won the Super Bowl last year. You know what? We were in the Super Bowl in 2022. You know what? We were in the Super Bowl in 2017, 2018. Life could be a lot worse. So I am pretty happy with what the team has done and where they're headed. And that's been mainly behind Nick's direction. And he doesn't call offense, doesn't call defense. He makes the playoffs every year. Here's the thing, though. There have been years that he hasn't made the playoffs. I think his first season, we might have went 4-12 with him, if I'm not mistaken, or something horrible.
No,
he's made it every year he's been here?
He's made it every year.
Oh, so that 4-12 year was the year that was Doug Peterson's last year.
Doug. Sirianni's had all winning seasons.
So, yeah, I mean, I just don't like the coordinator call. Because here's the thing, Chris. If you look back at Sirianni when he was in Indianapolis with the Colts, he was a really good coordinator there, too. So, I don't know. yes, I hear what you're saying. Maybe he doesn't do the play calling, which is traditional for a lot of head coaches in the NFL. But what the Eagles are doing is working for them. And I think KJ makes a good point with that you can't not give credit where credit's due. Like, especially with what we do in Philly sports media, you can't. What do you think, Rye?
Are we really even surprised by any of this? I've been calling this since week one. You guys can roll the tapes on all the Sippin' Sports shows that I've done. And Dalton, KJ, you guys can. I mean, I've been saying that this team's not good enough. I mean, it was just flat out obvious. Your quarterback had below average play. Your offensive line was a disaster. Your wide receiver one, AJ Brown, was a diva, just dropping passes, giving up on routes, didn't run the routes whole way through, didn't care enough. Your defense was the only bright spot. I mean, your coordinator since week one. I mean, by week 3, everybody realized this guy was not a NFL coordinator. So there's a lot of different issues on this team. I think they need to clean this. Look, I'll tell you this now. You got Patullo out of the way. That's the first apple to fall. I honestly would be okay with Nick Sirianni going. I know you guys got to give credit where credit's due, and that's fine. I give him credit. But I'll tell you what, if we had a head coach that actually understood football, actually was smart offensively, we would have not been in that predicament. Here's the problem. We would have been able to fire or relieve Patullo out of his duties and put Sirianni in there and let Sirianni take over play one. If we had the right guy, if he had an ounce of brain cells, that's the issue. When you have two people that don't understand what they're doing, that's what it's going to look like, man. And it's bad. Here's what bothers me. So the first day of real free agency, the Eagles free offseason, they released Kevin Patullo. Fine, great. But that just shows me they wanted to get rid of him all year. But they were afraid to get rid of him all year because they flat out did not trust Nick Sirianni. They didn't believe in his capabilities. They didn't believe he was able to ride this team in the battle. I mean, here's another thing. So he doesn't do anything offensively or defensively. I think I'd be okay with fine. Now, on top of this, his job title is motivator and discipline guy. This is one of the least disciplined football teams I've seen. Pre-snap penalties, pass interference, holding. It is just ridiculous. And by the way, Sunday versus the 49ers was one of the least motivated groups I've seen. They went out there and could give two flying F's. Win or lose, they could care less. So you want to talk to me about Nick Sirianni being a motivator, disciplined guy, and give him the credit where credit's due. That's fine. But this year was horribly disciplined, and this year was horribly motivated, especially in that last game. But we want to talk about winning a championship. I mean, we would have never been in the predicament if we had an offensive-minded head coach, because by week 6, week 5, whatever it is, everybody realized Kevin Patullo was not an offensive coordinator. Everybody realized it, and if we had the right head coach in there with some sort of brain cells offensively, he would have been able to rewrite this ship, because we should still be playing football right now. Right now on Sippin' Sports, we should be able to be talking about the Eagles and the friggin' Bears. But instead, I'm talking about my head coach possibly being fired or being on the hot seat. And I'm talking about an offensive coordinator being fired. So, I mean, what are we talking about here? I mean, there's been 2 collapses under this guy's watch. Both of the years, it's been with his buddies in the driver's seat. And the 2 years we've gone to the Super Bowl, it's been because we've had outsiders really calling the shots here. So it's about time. If you're going to keep him, that is what it is. That's up to Howie and Jeffrey Lurie. But it's about time Roseman and Lurie say, yo, Nick, you could never pick another coach ever. I mean, ever. I mean, it's a disaster. So I think there's a real case for him to stay, and I think there's a real case for him to go. But I'm not surprised they lost. They have below mediocre play from the quarterback position, bad offensive line. Fred Johnson stunk. Cam Jurgens stunk. Jordan Mailata stunk. Tyler Steens stunk. We can go on and on and on and on. They all stunk. Saquon Barkley stunk. And anybody with a brain cell would have used Tank Bigsby to their advantage. I mean, I've been calling for it for freaking weeks. Tank Bigsby. I felt bad for this guy. I felt bad for Jahan Dotson. Nobody knows how to use these guys. I feel bad for Dallas Goedert. Let's go use Dallas Goedert. For the love of God, go somewhere else. I love you, bro. I am in love with Dallas Goedert. But this guy's got to go somewhere else for his career. I mean, we don't use him. We use him as a fullback. What a disaster. What an absolute disaster. So we could talk about all we want about bringing in the offensive coordinator is going to help this team out. I don't know how much it helps us out. I don't know how much it helps us out because you still have a bad offensive line. I mean, your right guard position blows. And by the way, Lane Johnson could seriously retire here, boys. I mean, let's not forget, he wanted to retire after last year, and he said, oh, I'm going to keep playing. Now he's banged up with this injury, can't come back. I mean, it's bad. I mean, Jordan Mailata had his worst year. Cam Jurgens stunk. Saquon Barkley, who knows what we get with him? I think he may bounce back. Jalen has been playing mediocre ball since he got here and been bailed out by good running back play and good offensive line. What are we going to do here? I just think there's more pieces to the puzzle than people think than just bringing in Mike McDaniels or Dable or Cliff Kingsbury. Whoever, you know what I mean? Like there's more to this. Too many free agents, too many missing pieces. Your quarterback has to play outstanding. Like there's too many things that have to go into it. But I got to tell you, just to wrap it up, I'm not surprised they lost. This was a friggin' long time coming.
I mean, I'll ask you this: do you think when the coaching, I guess, search happened after we fired Doug, you think if Kellen Moore was in that kind of scenario and he could have been the coach, you think we would have? You think we could have got him and he could have been in Sirianni's shoes?
I don't know. I don't think so because here's the thing. I would have loved Kellen Moore. Honestly, I would have moved Kellen Moore up from offensive coordinator to head coach last year. I mean, like that's what I would have done.
Yeah.
But, I mean, it was this year. You know what I mean? Whatever. But what I'm saying is you have to remember the Eagles fired Doug Peterson after 2020 because he wanted to keep his buddies in there. He wanted to keep his boys. Because here's the thing: Howie Roseman and Jeffrey Lurie want total control. They want a puppet in there. And that's obvious. That's been proven. Doug Peterson is like, well, I'm not going to be your puppet. I want my guys. These are my guys. These are my picks. We're going to run it back. They ended up firing them. So none of that crew was there. But when they went through the extensive process of hiring a new head coach, they looked at it and said, hey, you know what? We need to find somebody that we can kind of bully and be in control of. Nick Sirianni is a perfect puppet. Nick Sirianni is a perfect cheerleader. Nick Sirianni is somebody where they can say, you know what, we don't care who you want. We're here. Here's our guys. You're going to make it work, right? Like, and I'll tell you this: both those years, 23 and last year, were both years that Nick Sirianni could have been fired, but he threw his buddy Brian Johnson under the bus and Kevin Patullo under the bus, and they both should have went, which is fine. I'm not saying that they shouldn't have gone, but he threw him under the bus. He saved his own ass. He did. So, we could talk all we want about bringing in Kellen Moore, which I think would have been fantastic. But I'll tell you what, I think Kellen Moore is somebody that's like, here's my group, and you're not going to really bully me. And that's what Doug did. They fired him. And now you have Nick Sirianni, who's a cheerleader and who gets bullied by Lurie and Roseman. And, and when he gets his buddies in there, he gets a chance. He screws it all up. So, I mean, it would have been great. But I just don't see it. I think our upper management's just like, we need a coach that we have total control over.
Yeah. I'll ask you guys this right before. I don't know and I'm not trying to call this guy out. Maybe this guy lost a bet or something because I'm confused. He's saying we need a top 5 running game defense to win with Jalen. He's got the Niners.
Yeah, he had to lose a bet. You're right. He definitely lost a bet. There's no way that he would be just making that.
Yeah, he said he did. He said he did.
Willingly. There you go.
Sorry to call him out, but damn. Yeah, I just saw that.
Hey, man of his word, though. You got to give respect.
Man of his word. There you go. I've had to deal with those kind of bets too. So I've been in those boats.
Yeah. Well, all right. So last topic of the day, and if my laptop dies, KJ, if you could just wrap up the show, that would be sweet with the outro. Yeah. I think it should be good. But this is some breaking news. We're hearing now rumblings that A.J. Brown requested a trade throughout the regular season. Not once, not twice, but 3 times he wanted out. And I heard another rumor that said as early as week 3 into the season, this guy knew that Kevin Patullo wasn't the right offensive coordinator for him. I felt like we all knew kind of before. Like once we got him out on the field and we were like, all right, fuck that. It did not take Philly fans long. By week 3, like Angelo said on your show, Broad, by week 8. I would say for me personally, definitely that Bears game, I think it was obvious for everybody at that point. This guy's got to get out of here. This is not working out. He has no clue what he's doing, or you know what? Maybe he has an idea what he's doing, but he's not meant to be the Philadelphia Eagles offensive coordinator. There are too many weapons. It's too complex of a puzzle for him to solve, and it's clearly not working. My frustration is I feel like this was already known going into this. If you look at the interviews with Jalen Hurts, and a lot of people are talking about it now, but I talked about it in the moment. We can go back, same thing, roll the tape. He didn't look too keen or too, like, body language is 70% of communication. That's something I say all the time on this show because I watch players' body language a lot of time in interviews. Are they smiling? Are they happy? Are they looking around? Are they stern? Are they not making eye contact? Are they just bland? Like, what's going through their mind? Because a lot of times their body language correlates with what's going on with them. When Jalen Hurts was asked about Kevin Patullo, he had one of the most bland looks on his face I've ever seen. And I believe he even had an answer one time that was like, yeah, Kevin Patullo, I didn't even know that he's in the conversation for offensive coordinator. Like, it was a joke almost. No, Nick Sirianni, got to hang out with his boys. Come on in, OC. Sometimes what I've learned, the best people you'll work with won't be your friends. And it's nothing against your friends. It's just sometimes you got to find people that have mutually the same goals and are aligned with you. Key example, 302 Birds. Love KJ McCoy. KJ McCoy's my guy. KJ McCoy is the same end goals as me. So our goals are what we're both focused on, and then our friendship comes as a result. I feel like that needs to be the case too in football. Like, because that's how you get better. That's how you achieve. That's how you succeed. Like, we wouldn't be where we are if I didn't have somebody like KJ that was like always holding me to a higher standard, always like helping me get better. Same thing. With your friends, it's very hard to manage your friends. And KJ and I like kind of came together from the podcast. And we're friends, of course. Like, KJ is my best friend, you know, like we're homies. But we both, like I said, we have that end goal in mind where just like Ryan, just like Chris, like we would love to talk sports professionally. We can figure it out. I feel like where I'm going at with this is the Eagles need an offensive coordinator that's not going to be friends first with Nick Sirianni, kind of like Kellen Moore. That will come as a result, just like it did with Kellen Moore, just like it did with these other coaches. I don't think that they should have a history or a chemistry because when push comes to shove and then Nick's going to have to hold his friend accountable, it's going to be really tough for him. I don't know. I feel like that's probably a little bit what happened with Kevin Patullo. And we also got to the point, I feel like every freaking week, it was either Nick Sirianni or a player bailing out Kevin Patullo. Got to give, and the last thing I'll say too, because I know I'm rambling, the last thing I'll say, got to give a lot of respect to Jordan Mailata, because in an interview at Chickies and Pete's, he was asked, what do you think about the Patullo firing? And he still stood by his offensive coordinator. And he said, you know what, as players, we got to go out there and we got to execute and we got to do better. So I do really respect the way that a lot of the players are looking at this. But, like, guys, you don't got to put on a bluff. You don't got to hide it. We all know Kevin Patullo is the reason why we aren't where we want to be right now.
Is that true, though? Because we don't exactly know the play calls.
True.
We don't exactly know what's supposed to go on. Like, we'll never really know how much of this was the players and how much of this was Patullo because we're not there. I think there's a lot more to the players on this than what's getting let on because
Agreed.
that offensive line was straight dog shit all year. So I don't know. I mean, obviously you fire Patullo in this situation. This whole AJ situation at this point, if he's going to keep doing this shit, the biggest problem is going to be the money. Like what's the cap hit? What's this? What's that? But if he's going to pull this Terrell Owens bullshit, then you're going to have to get rid of him. And it sucks because he was such a great player.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But if you're going to do this, it's been with Jalen, it's been with Sirianni, it's been with Patullo.
Yeah.
You know, he wants to go in and make his own nicknames here. Like, he's being a straight up diva and he's a hell of a player, but at this point, I'd rather give the ball to Devontae Smith way more than AJ Brown.
Oh, yeah, of course.
But he's going to whine and complain about it.
Yeah, and I'll say this too. Like, it's funny how Howie was saying, like, yeah, we're not trading AJ. It's just not a question. If the guy wants out, then
He
the guy
didn't say. Hold on.
Yeah,
He
it's
didn't
funny
say he
how
wasn't
you
trading him.
interpret that and how Chris and I interpret that,
What?
because I basically thought that was the perfect fucking GM answer. Like, he basically said, we're not trading him, but we're not trading him, is how I took
He
it.
said he was a great player. He didn't say anything about trading him.
Oh, okay,
He said,
good.
we'll look at our options for the best player available on the draft board, and we always go for the best player or something like that. So, like, he didn't say that he's not going to not trade AJ. He
So
basically
it could be
gave
something.
AJ some credit and then had
Yeah.
a fucking slimy GM answer after. I mean, good
Okay.
business by Howie's part, but he didn't specifically say it. I swear to God.
No, I believe you. I'm just thinking it just definitely. I think they have to. I'm the same boat with Chris. Like I was an AJ guy. Like I really when he was clicking on all cylinders with Jalen, it was awesome to see. I mean, that was really in 2022. I feel like, and then I think like it kind of went south, and then obviously they were able to capture a Super Bowl eventually. But I think a lot of that had to happen with the success of Saquon Barkley. I feel like so that was what really happened. I feel like, but I think with AJ, as much as like he's a great player, yeah, it's just not going to work out anymore. And like you know what, like I believe in Devontae Smith more. I mean, the guy doesn't complain that much. So yeah, I would definitely try and see what you can get for AJ Brown. If he's back next season, I mean, it's just I don't know because we're just it's gonna be a domino. Like it's gonna keep on falling and falling. Like there's like the crazy thing is too, even after winning a Super Bowl with Jalen, and like he got a Super Bowl for the first time in his career. He still is like asking on social media, yeah, I need someone to throw for me. And he brought this out to the public. He brought this out to the public and he was saying like, hey, if somebody who's like a quarterback is like this and that, whatever, and could throw me some routes and throw out a field and whatever in the Jersey area, it's like, dude, like, why don't you go work with Jalen or something? But obviously something's there. And I mean, we don't know exactly what it is. I mean, Jalen's saying like they're cool and whatever, but I don't know if they are. If he's asking for like, you know what, I need some random dude off the street, like Joe Smo off the streets to throw the ball to him in the offseason, I think that's definitely a problem because you see these other receivers that are playing with these quarterbacks and they're working out with them. You're seeing Aaron Rodgers working out with DK Metcalf in the summer, and Aaron Rodgers wasn't even a Steeler yet, and they were doing that. So it's like you got to build chemistry with your quarterback. You got to build chemistry with your receiver. And for some reason, they don't want to do that. So why keep AJ around? I appreciate him for doing what he did with us and everything like that and helping us capture a Super Bowl. But at the same time, if he's just going to keep on doing this Terrell Owens stuff that like Chris is saying, why keep him around? Just why?
I would trade A.J. Brown right now. I'd get rid of him. It's a long time coming here, boys. And you guys need to realize this is not the first year this cat's done this. You know what I mean? It's been going on for forever. You know, he wants the ball. It's me. You know, we win a Super Bowl and he's like, you know, winning a Super Bowl is not the best, not the best feel, whatever. Not what I thought. Like, what are you talking about, dude? Is that not the goddamn end goal in every professional sport? To win a Super Bowl, to win a championship, to win a World Series, to win a Stanley Cup. Is that not what it's supposed like? I can't take it. This dude, I'm over him. I can't take it anymore. I defended AJ a little bit. I like AJ. I think he's a phenomenal player. But you lost me when you start doing this. You start taking things to social media and you start attacking people. That's what he did. That's strike one. Strike two, he stops running routes 100%. That's strike two. Strike three, giving up on routes. Strike four, dropping crucial passes that old A.J. Brown would have caught. I mean, there's so many different issues here. And now you're hearing that he's requested a trade 3 times. I got to tell you what, I don't know who's releasing the information, but to me, all signs point that it's him releasing the information that he requested a trade 3 times. I mean, it's like all signs point to him. I don't know who could release that information. I know it's not the organization, but I'll tell you what. This guy wants you out. There's an obvious disconnect. He obviously has beef with Nick Sirianni. I don't know if you don't see that, you're clueless. He has beef with Sirianni. He had beef with Patullo, which is, I mean, everybody doesn't matter. But if beef with Sirianni was cussing him out on the sideline. I mean, what a disgrace. He obviously, his friendship, his relationship with Jalen Hurts has gotten significantly worse. And they were boys in 22 when he got here, but now they've gotten significantly worse. And I'll tell you what, I think A.J. Brown realizes that Jalen Hurts is not going to be the guy for him, is not going to be the quarterback to get him his yards, his touchdowns, everything that he wants. And I don't know, he has beef. There's beef between him and Jalen, and there's beef between him and the head coach. I mean, and then must have beef with Roseman if he's asking for 3 trades and he's not getting traded. Come on. I mean, it's obvious. This guy wants out. He doesn't want to be with the quarterback. He doesn't want to be with the head coach. Doesn't want to be with the team. Let him go to New England. Let him go with his boy Vrabel. Let him go, man. Just let him go. I don't care anymore because you know what? I think Devontae deserves to be number 1 anyway, and you can go and find another wide receiver 2 out of the draft or free agency somewhere. I think you have to start prioritizing locker room over other things. But, as much as we attack A.J. Brown for the shit that he's done and has said, what about Jalen? Like, what is Jalen's role in all this? How you know what I mean? Like, we've seen more people be frustrated with the offense and like players like AJ be frustrated with the offense. Like, that doesn't all fall on Patullo. There's some deficiencies in Jalen Hurts' game. How much of this falls on Jalen Hurts? It's not all A.J. Brown. But A.J. Brown's got to go.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll also say this too. I mean, you see that Devontae, I think if you have him as the number 1 receiver, I think most definitely you don't see, I mean, it's crazy to see that none of this antics that A.J. Brown has exhibited have not worn off on Devontae. And it shows really the character of Devontae Smith and how great of a player and a leader he is. And that he is the future wide receiver we want to see in an Eagles uniform for the rest of his career, I think. So I think definitely we have to focus on him. I mean, he gives Jalen a lot of his props. I mean, he did after the Super Bowl, which I didn't really see AJ really do that. And I mean, that's okay. But I mean, if they want to win, I think you keep Devontae Smith around. And I think it's been obvious that AJ reminisces about the Patriots. He has passes with Tom Brady on the sideline when Tom Brady's announcing for Fox, or he gets a little package from Julian Edelman or whatever, like with a signed jersey on it. He wants to be a Patriot. Go let him be a Patriot. That's what I think.
I agree.
That's what I definitely think. So I think Dalt's computer died. I'm going to see if we have anything else. I don't think we do.
I think that was it.
That is it. So that is going to be it. Everybody stay safe because right now in our area, it looks like it's snowing a little bit. So, but yeah, just stay safe. And yeah, right now, I mean, Philly sports are stressing us out for sure. But I mean, it definitely is what it is, and we'll get through it. But I appreciate Broad Street Sports for being here. Appreciate Chaos Chris for being here. And that'll do it for Sippin' Sports. And we will see you guys next Saturday for another episode. All right. Good.
Sure.
Go Birds. And Dabrowski, you can honestly just.
Dabrowski's clueless.
You're clueless. You're dumb. And get out of here. So,
Dombrowski.
Dumb Browski. Yep. Dumb ass Browski.
Yes, sir.
There we go. Wait, where's the outro? Go.
Up in the top right. Up in the top right.
Yeah. I'm trying to do that. There's no outro.